The Very Serious Crafts podcast is now on Patreon. Head on over to patreon.com/seriouscrafts to support our podcast and get early access to episodes, find out about our unfiltered Patreon-only off-week episodes, and more. You're listening to the Very Serious Crafts podcast.
We're very serious crafters,
and we craft very serious crafts.
Very serious. Hello, and welcome to Season 3, Episode 1 of the Very Serious Crafts podcast. I'm Haley from Red Handled Scissors.
And I'm Mollie from Wild Olive, and Heidi is off working on an exciting secret project, so she has the day off. I know.
I'm very excited.
It's very exciting, but I already miss her. So, but I'm excited to talk with you today, Haley. And today we will be talking about darning eggs, needlepoint, ways to mend, and the crafty shoppy. Isn't that intriguing? Don't you want to know? The crafty shoppy.
Huh. Oh, wait. No, I do know.
You do know.
You too will also want to know.
Okay. I'm very excited. Oh my goodness.
Well, we've been away for a little while, so we're a bit weird today.
We are.
So I hope that you will enjoy coming along with us as we ease back in with Season 3.
I know. But it's been nice to have that little bit of a break. There's been a lot of things going on during the break. We've all been busy and sick and all of those things. But I'm so glad that we're back at this again.
Me too. I missed seeing your cat ears. Which, for the record, she has cat ear headphones.
I do.
She doesn't have,
not actual
cat ear implants. Although that would be very cute.
And also, briefly, I want to say that Haley's microphone stand had cat ears, but they were actual cat ears as Mr. Big Stuff was hiding behind the microphone. So that was also...
It's true. Great. It was very cute. It was just a microphone with little cat ears, and I love it.
Yes.
He may be joining us. He's already come out several times to visit and give offerings to the Roomba, which he also just discovered today. Anyway, moving on to things that are actually about crafting and not cats. Boy, do I have a story to tell about sleep deprivation and stress for you.
This is always a good combination.
So I was sick for a month and 3 weeks straight, starting before Christmas. And in the middle of that, I needed to fly to Michigan with my best friend. And I was preparing a piece of luggage that was squeaking for her to take with her ahead of me. And I decided that I had better oil both the handle, which was sticking a little bit, and the wheels. So the thing that I got off of my shelf in my studio was mysteriously fray check, which, if you're familiar, is more of an adhesive than a lubricant. It seals seams. So they don't fray. So I was starting on the handle, and I could not figure out why it wasn't becoming less sticky. And I just kept adding more fray check, and then at some point I looked down and I was like, wait a minute. Fray check. Huh.
So it was labeled.
And I think that my finger stuck to it or something. I think that was what brought me to the realization.
Oh.
Yep. And so I look up at my best friend and just hold up the bottle and have her read it. And then I casually put it back on the shelf and grab the sewing machine oil, which is what I had intended to use in the first place.
And did it undo the freight check?
Yeah, it works fine.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yep. So everything worked out in the end. It's just that freight check isn't a lubricant.
No, it is not. I'm just so thankful that happened on luggage and not something like an expensive sewing machine.
Oh, you and me.
That would have been a nightmare. Goodness.
I'm just looking at the Bernina over my shoulder and thinking, oh, that could have been a disaster.
Yeah. I'm thinking like maybe some neon tape on one of those so that you know which one is which. Just in case.
I mean, and I knew which one was which. I literally tried. I have like 3 bottles of it from sealing the edges of my projects from my last book. And I tried the first bottle and it wasn't open. So I went to the second bottle of freight check and then had to poke it with a pin to clear the nozzle. Like, I was truly focused on using this particular item.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got nothing.
Wow. Well, lesson learned.
Yep. So definitely hide your freight check bottles, friends. I can't be trusted.
Yeah. My goodness. I have not done anything quite so exciting and or dangerous as that lately. And I think I'm thankful for that.
Good.
Yeah. What I have started playing around with is stitching completely wrong. What am I doing here? I should not stitch and talk. I just changed the complete method of how I was doing these stitches. I'm going to talk about needlepoint later on, and I've been casually plastic canvas stitching while we've been talking, and I've messed the whole thing up. Setting that aside now, I was going to talk about making stickers for Instagram stories, but apparently I have been doing something foolish and messing things up. Oh my goodness.
At least you weren't sealing it with freight check.
Yeah, it's not sealed. I can undo the back of my work now. Mm-hmm. I knew that this was potentially an interesting episode with my state of mind, but didn't expect that.
No. You never do when these things happen.
Yeah.
I mean, every time we recorded while I was writing my last book, I had to undo every single stitch that I did while recording because I screwed something up.
Yeah, I purposely...
Every time.
I chose this because I thought this is a little bit mindless. I'm knitting something with jumbo yarn and needles, and it was too loud. And so I thought, this is quiet. This is just tent stitch. Okay.
Apparently not.
Apparently not. All right. Well, let's just move on.
Yeah. All right. Fine. So before we jump into actually talking about our topics, we want to give a shout out to some new serious friends of the Very Serious Crafts podcast who are supporting us on Patreon. Many thanks to Christine, Carla, Rachel, Cheryl, and Lisa. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And, if you guys want to become a supporter and aren't, you might want to go check out some of the treats that we've got over on Patreon for you.
Yes.
So,
yeah. Patreon.com/seriouscrafts is where you'll find us.
Yep. Sorry. See, I can't read today either, is the thing.
It's all good.
Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fine.
It'll
be fine. All right. So, can I tell you a cute story of dads?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, as everyone who listens to us at all will already know, my dad and I have a long history of going antiquing every time I am in Michigan for any reason.
Yes.
And the last time I was specifically looking for a darning egg. And they have been everywhere. I mean, this is a Midwestern, antiquing staple. And I have not been able to find one the last 2 trips. So finally, my dad, who is in his retirement a woodworker and has built himself a wood shop, asked what it looked like and got this dad twinkle in his eye. And I was like, oh, I see. And this was right around Thanksgiving, because I was in town because my grandmother passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And she was 95 and lived a very long life. So
yeah,
sad, but also she was 95. Which is awesome.
That's a long run.
Yeah. So anyway, I described it to him, and then he found some examples, and I guess went to a craft store and talked to some people about it and got some advice. And he hand-turned a darning egg for me and sent it to me at Christmas along with the Singer Sew Handy, that toy sewing machine that I had been eyeing for years. Oh my
goodness. Okay.
The very one.
Wow. So first of all, I love that. It's very, that's the kind of thing that my dad would probably do too, where it's I went and found this little special thing. But jumping back to the darning egg.
Yes.
I love that he went and consulted other people to get advice on this as well, and it's a whole thing.
I am holding it up so you can see it.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. He made it was hold on, let me show Mollie a little closer. He actually made sure that all of the grain on the wood was stained, and he did some fancy turning on the handle, but it's ergonomic. So it fits exactly in my hand.
Goodness.
I mean, it was so thoughtful. Yeah. And I am just delighted to have it, because, it would have been great to find one, but my dad made this.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to just have that.
Yeah.
And maybe pass it along at some point in the hopefully distant future. So after that, my father-in-law, who is in Vermont, we went to visit them last week, I think, for a late holiday celebration. And on his kitchen table was this hat that had seen better days. And it was a nice knitted cable hat. And apparently his mom had made it for him as a teenager in maybe the early 60s, late 50s. And he had it since then and had worn it living in various places of Europe when he was an apprentice violin maker, and it had been all over.
There's a whole story to it. It has a history of its own. I love it.
Yeah. And which I may get into further in a future episode. But he asked me if I would mend this hat. Yeah. And if it were possible, and if I would like to. And so now I've got this beautiful darning egg from my dad and this really cool hat with a history from my father-in-law, and it just seems like the perfect first project for that, and I am super excited to get started.
That is so cool. Well, I should have grabbed it before we talked today. I didn't think to do it, but when I was down visiting family in Florida, also in November, one of the things that I was helping with was my aunt was going through my grandmother's things because my grandmother passed away in the summer. And, it's funny. Like,
it has not been a good year for grandmas.
It has not. It has not been a good year for grandmas. But I didn't realize how much crafting she did. I knew she did some, and I knew that she painted, but yeah, so I ended up with some of her things that came home with me. But one of them is, it's like a darning egg, but it looks more foot-shaped or toe-shaped at the front. And is that still considered a darning egg, or is that like a sock darner exclusively, or what? How does that?
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, it's still curved, right?
Yeah, but it looks a little bit more like the front of a foot.
It must be a heel darner.
I don't know. I don't think you would be
wait, the front of a foot,
like
not the back of a foot.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, toes then, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I should have. I'll have to send you a picture so that you can evaluate, or we can compare it to things on the internet. But yeah, that came.
Yeah, indeed.
That came
or
with me.
If you know, listeners.
Yeah.
Tell us about darning tools.
Yeah, it definitely has enough that I think you could probably darn the bottom of, like, the ball of the foot. I suppose. But anyway, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's not quite as beautiful as yours, I have to say. But it's definitely already well used.
I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I'm really, really excited to break this in and, get the wear marks of having been used.
Yeah.
It's just going to be good. And it's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
And my dad is great. The end.
It's basically, it's brand new, but it's already an heirloom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which I kind of think it should be.
Yeah.
Like tools
absolutely.
like that should be.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have an answer for you.
Oh, okay.
I believe for yours.
This is so much. You're like way better than Siri.
It seems to be a sock darner specifically.
Okay. All right.
If it looks sort of like paddle-like almost.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll get you a picture. We'll put a picture in the show notes of mine as well as yours.
Yes, let's definitely do that. Because there are so many different kinds. Yeah. And they also used to be, fun fact, tchotchkes that were part of like World's Fairs and stuff like that. They were commemorative items.
Right.
So my white whale is Chicago World's Fair darning egg.
Okay.
My antiquing white whale.
Sometime let's please have a whole conversation about craft souvenirs. Like, I know that I'll often talk about how I get fabric or yarn as a souvenir from a trip, but like I'm talking about the real ones that are actually produced for that, like thimbles and whatnot. So
yeah, like thimbles. And
yeah. Yes. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. Cool. We will do that.
Yeah. I'm just writing this down.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah. So, as I already mentioned in my opening chatter where I was messing up what I was stitching, I wanted to talk about needlepoint today.
Oh yes, please.
And I haven't really done any needlepoint other than, a little bit of plastic canvas, which is related, but not exactly the same. I used to have a needle workshop near me that needlepoint was a big, that was probably their biggest customers were needlepoint customers. And they sold canvases.
We should probably explain what needlepoint actually is.
Yeah.
Since all of the embroidery terms seem to get lumped in together.
So, and that was, needlepoint is it's a counted stitch type of embroidery, kind of like how cross stitch is counted stitch, except that needlepoint uses different stitches that besides just cross stitches. In fact, commonly, the most basic stitch is just little angled stitches called tent stitch. You work it on a canvas, and those canvases sometimes come pre-painted, which is a thing that I will be talking about because I have thoughts and feelings.
Yeah, painted canvases are cool and weird.
Yes, exactly. And a lot of times you use different kinds of threads and you create different textures with it. What I've recently learned is that, especially in the UK, needlepoint is often referred to as tapestry, even though like true like medieval tapestries are not needlepoint. They're woven. It's a woven tapestry. But yeah, so it fills in an entire panel, and a lot of times you'll see like in antique chairs or footstool covers, you'll see it entirely covered in needlepoint or pillows or whatnot.
I love that and wouldn't sit in it.
Yeah, we have a couple, like I definitely know of a footstool that we have, which I've mentioned my cat has barfed on. It's really not what you want the cat to barf on. But I mean,
no, not ideal.
Yeah, and it's just filled with these stitches, and it's a lot of times worked with like a type of like a wool, like a yarn basically. And in antique designs, you'll see lots of florals or very complicated designs with landscapes or whatnot, and they're absolutely beautiful. I have not really spent a lot of time working on it, especially I think because of more traditional designs are less what I would be inclined to try. It's also it can be a more expensive project. When you're making me laugh while I'm telling about this.
I'm sorry. I was doing it for the Instagram.
It's fine.
I was taking a video.
All good.
Friends.
Anyway,
sorry.
There's an embroidery artist who goes by Bobbin and Fred, and I will have links to her website and her Instagram in the show notes. But she does a little bit more modern needlepoint. I mean, there's lots of artists that do more modern needlepoint, and I love her color palettes that she works with, and so that sort of got me interested a little bit, and I was asked to do a little bit of like sample work to show what fabrics you would use for needlepoint. And so then I tried a little bit and I was like, okay, this is kind of fun. Maybe I want to do a little bit more of this. Yeah. And it's gotten me kind of excited about it. Partly too, because one of my favorite embroidery resources that I have is like, I think it's like a Women's Day 1961 pamphlet that is like, it's like standard paper size, but folded with like, I don't know, 8 pages or something like that. And it has regular embroidery stitches and it has the counted thread needlepoint stitches. And I'm always looking at them going like, maybe I should just do something, try these. It's kind of fun. You create different textures with them. It's like my favorite. I've shared pictures of it online before because it's such a fun thing. It right down to like my little pamphlet has probably like my grandma or great grandmother, like they had made check marks next to some of the stitches. Like, oh, yep, I've done this one. Like, I love that.
That's the best thing
I know
about, especially if you know where an item has come from.
Yeah.
Like one of my German professors, who is now just a very, very dear friend, sent me a bunch of old work basket magazines.
Yeah.
And it's just, I believe they were her mother's. And so looking through them and seeing like what she saved and what she circled, it makes me really happy.
Yeah, I love that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so having all of these new stitches that I could potentially learn is also very fun to me. But I think like, getting back to the idea of the canvases, I think one of the reasons that I've sort of been hesitant on this idea is that a painted canvas can be really expensive because
so expensive.
They're generally hand painted. You're buying a painting. It just happens to be on canvas that you're going to completely cover with stitches.
I feel really uncomfortable about that.
I know. I can't do it. Now, could I paint my own canvas? Probably.
Well, sure.
But at that point, I might as well just count the stitches and do what I'm going to do based on something else. Although I can't remember who it is now, but there is someone who has a tutorial on how to do your own painted canvas. And it's, you don't have to do anything complicated. You can, work on it with simple shapes and designs. But definitely being at the needle workshop and seeing canvases that were like $200 and then you still had to buy all of the threads, which could have easily been another $200. I thought, no, I can't do this. I can't start another really expensive craft medium. Oh.
No, but now I'm on the Bobbin and Fred Instagram, and now I also would like to do some needlepoint.
Yeah, and you can use basically wool yarns for it, or you don't have to even use wool yarns really,
like crewel yarns.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that I just got some anchor crewel yarns, or actually it's crewel, or it's anchor tapestry wool.
Oh, cool.
That Benzie Design was selling. I don't know if she still has it or not, but you can buy those. DMC made it. I think that you can still find those. And again,
I think DMC still makes it.
It's not
because Borgello is coming back.
Oh my goodness, which I love.
Bargello,
which is another type of canvas work. You get into the categories of like, what is needlepoint versus canvas work, and that Bargello or whatever it is, like essentially that is a type of needlepoint stitch. It falls into that category. So it's but I love that stuff. It's so it has the potential to do so many cool things. So anyway,
it's like interlocking mathematical patterns.
Yeah, longer stitches. Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah. So all that to say, I think that I've started another thing. Or I'm about to start another thing.
Ooh. Oh, I just had a terrible and wonderful idea.
Okay.
I feel as though I need to make a needlepoint cover for my chair in my studio to make it look like an old school needle-pointed chair, except removable.
Okay. That is fantastic, but also my
cat would destroy it immediately.
I'm like going, oh my goodness, that's so many hours. Yikes. But also that would be
I
really
wish
cool.
I'd thought of it when I was sick for a month and 3 weeks.
Yeah. That would have been perfect.
That would have been a great time to do that.
Yeah.
Because I certainly wasn't doing anything else.
Well, next time you're sick. Not that I'm hoping you get sick, but yeah.
This was the first time in 3 years, but I guess I was making up for it.
There you go.
Although last time I had swine flu. So I have never been so sick in my life. This time it was less dramatic.
Oh my goodness.
Probably also still the flu. At least it started out as that. But luckily the flu shot didn't stop it, but calmed it.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I am very thankful that you are finally on the mend.
Oh my gosh, me too.
On the mend. Do you see what I did there?
Your transitions are beautiful.
I may be out of practice on a lot of things, but dad joke transitions,
but your transitions
I'm ready.
Spot on. All right, so speaking of being on the mend, I know we've talked about mending before, but
It was a while ago.
Something that came, it was a while ago. And something that came up while I was discussing the hat mending with my father-in-law was whether or not he wanted restoration or visible mending.
Yes.
And so basically, did he want me to try to find the closest wool that I could find to this hat and then try to duplicate all of the stitches perfectly, which I can do.
Sure.
But I mean, this hat has some pretty significant damage. It would be a project. And also, you know how natural wool tends to yellow a bit with age?
Uh-huh.
It would be very hard to match that color without some natural dyeing experiments.
Okay. Which could be fun in itself.
It could be. Or raiding someone else's grandma's yarn stash, I guess. So in talking to him, he's a violin maker, and he's very much also of the use it until it falls apart mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of mending, a lot of holding things together with duct tape that don't need to be held together with duct tape.
Definitely a dad thing.
There's a very he's not wasteful.
Yeah.
And is also a very creative mind. So we were discussing it, whether he wanted restoration or whether he wanted specifically visible mending, like bright and like very much mending that calls attention to itself. And he was not very helpful because his thought was, you're creative. Why don't you decide? And I'm thinking, I am talking to someone who makes violins by hand.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
And also the person who will be wearing the hat. So
right. But because he's so good about using what's there, I think he wanted the hat. He wants the hat for sentimental reasons, but it's entirely possible that he will wear this hat again.
Yeah.
And so so I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm leaning towards visible mending because I feel like that would sort of fit him better. Like it feels right personality-wise, but it's also a beautifully made, very old hat. And so I haven't quite decided. I think I'm going to duplicate the stitches.
Okay, but in a contrasting color.
But in contrasting colors.
That. That's a good idea.
That's where I think I'm going to land. So I really haven't created any less work for myself, but I have.
Well, you don't have to worry about the yarn matching. Stash. Yeah, you avoided that part.
Yep, but and it's weird because I kind of go back and forth between visible mending and mending that blends in, like in what I decide.
Yeah.
Like I once bent over and split my pants in sort of the entire crotch area ripping out kind of way.
Uh-huh.
And that in and of itself is a rather embarrassing place to have your pants split.
Uh-huh.
But instead of buying new pants or patching them in the same color, I decided to go full woven darning on them.
Wow.
In bright colors. And so I have, well, I don't know if I have them anymore, but I had this pair of pants that had so clearly been mended in maybe one of the most embarrassing places for your pants to rip. And it was like, it was no longer embarrassing because it was just like, what?
Well,
yeah, my pants ripped.
I mean, certainly you weren't the first person to have their pants ripped there.
Well, no, I think anyone with thighs has had their pants ripped there. But
I think mine has been related completely to the size of my backside and the way that I like to I'll sit on my knees or on my legs, I'll kneel flat, and I just sat down one time, and it was in it wasn't in jeans or something, it was in pajama pants, and they just the fabric just split. So yeah, it happens.
Yeah, well, I mean, we of generous posteriors sometimes live in that world.
Exactly.
I mean, I definitely once had a pair of pants, and I think I may have told this story at some point on the podcast, but I walked around all day in the winter not knowing that my pants had split and that my entire left butt cheek was on display.
Oh my gosh.
I walked all around Brooklyn like that, running errands. I don't know how many places I went. And I also don't know when it happened.
Oh my goodness.
So,
you didn't feel a breeze?
And nobody said a word. Apparently not. It was cold. I don't know.
You were just all around cold. It didn't feel any different.
I guess.
That butt cheek was already frozen.
Anything. It was. It certainly was.
Oh my goodness.
But I'm fairly certain it happened before I left the apartment. But nobody said anything because Brooklyn.
There you go.
I guess they probably assumed I meant to have it that way. Because fashion?
Definitely.
I don't know.
That's so high fashion. I mean, it might be. We've seen the interesting.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I think that visible mending, I mean, I think mending of any way is really fantastic. I know Sherry of Tinker Ellen, she has started doing so much visible mending to all of their family's clothes as they're really trying to be smart and do make more earth-friendly choices, whether that be with the things they're eating or the way that they're keeping their clothes longer. And it's really smart. It's really cool. She's done the and semi-sashiko method of
I
stitching
love
things
that.
over. Yeah, I really like that. The visible mending that I've done was where I actually was embroidering over a spot, so that it looked like there was supposed to be embroidery there instead of a hole.
Oh, I like that too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So many ways to do it.
Yeah. Well, I read last year at some point that Prince Charles keeps a bag of scrap material to mend.
That's cool.
His suits and such. And so you can see in a lot of his elbows and pockets of suit coats that they have been visibly mended. And I mean, they have been mended expertly.
Sure.
By presumably palace tailors.
Yeah.
But he doesn't just get a new suit when only part of it is worn. And I think that's really interesting. It probably also comes from a certain post World War II mentality of make, do, and mend.
Yeah.
But I thought that was very interesting, and it sort of made me look at him slightly differently. Because that's a choice that he doesn't need to make.
Exactly.
And I think it's cool.
Yeah.
And I think it's really great that someone that visible is not thinking of clothing as disposable.
Right. Yeah. I think it's hard sometimes now with the way that if you purchase your clothes, especially if you aren't purchasing more expensive clothes, but it can be so much harder to actually mend your clothing because of the fabrics.
Oh yeah, because it's not meant to.
Exactly. And I think that really says a lot about why it can make a difference to make your own things as well. I mean, even thinking about that hat, like the fact that hat has lasted so long, even with some damage, like it's because it was made well to begin with.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I think that's cool.
But yeah, that hat has a whole story that I will tell. I also have a picture of his mom knitting
Very
in
cool.
like it looks kind of like a cabin where they grew up.
Yeah.
And he's from a Quaker family, so there's an awful lot. I think that's where a lot of his not being wasteful and using what's there comes from, and I really like that.
Cool stuff.
Well, I don't have anything clever to say about the next. They're transitioning into the next. Actually, though, I'm kind of in the mood for a little tofu. Maybe some.
Maybe the tofu's in the mood for you. It might be some killer tofu.
Tofu.
That's right.
I'm not going to sing it.
Ooh,
yes.
Yes. Ooh, so this week I sent Haley a message.
If you aren't of our age.
That's right. This might be totally confusing. But I sent Haley a message and I said, Haley, by any chance, when you were younger, did you watch the cartoon show Doug? And Doug originally ran on Nickelodeon, and then it got bought out and moved over to Disney and became Disney's Doug. And since Disney Plus came out, I decided it might be fun to put on these old Doug episodes and just kind of have them in the background because I loved this show when I was younger. And so I'm watching, and all of a sudden here pops up, Doug needs to earn some money to get concert tickets, naturally to go and see the Beats, who sing the song Killer Tofu. And he does not have any money, and he gets the idea to go and work at his grandma's craft shop called the Crafty Shoppy, which is just the cutest name for a craft shop ever, I think. But if I have a craft shop, maybe I'll call it that.
Shoppy,
anyway.
The 2 E's sort of thing.
Yes, the Crafty Shoppy. And so he goes to work there, and he it's not really, happening, and he's not making very much money because she doesn't make a lot of money there. They show the store, and there, it looks to me like in this craft store, she also she sells things that maybe people have made. There appears to be some sort of a poodle in a display case, and there's
what?
Yeah, it's like, I think it looks like almost like some sort of crafted, I don't know, there's like objects in this display case, like as though they're like consignment or something. I don't know. They don't really explain a lot of these things. Certainly,
maybe they're examples.
Maybe. There's what you don't see a lot of at the Crafty Shoppy is like yarn or fabric or craft supplies. So I'm not.
Oh, so we're selling actual crafts.
I think so, except that she definitely has she seems to have like a knitting group there. There's a group of, I think, like 6 or 8 women sitting around, and they are working on some knitting projects, all in the same color yarn, which I think is hilarious. And at one point,
maybe they were doing charity knitting. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. She at one point tells, what does she tell Doug? Oh, this is what she tells Doug. I just want to have a nice place for my homegirls to hang.
Oh.
Which is so cute. I love it.
Oh.
But
wait,
yeah,
what? Her name is what? Edna?
Edna, yes. Grandma
Edna.
Funny.
Yeah.
Edna. Mm-hmm. But she also points out what appears to be a hand-embroidered sampler on the wall that is her shop's motto. It says, "Keep it simple. It doesn't need to be extra complicated. Just keep it very, very simple. Why don't you? Simple, simple." So I just was delighted by this. But because the goal of this whole episode, by the way, the name of this episode is Doug, a Limited Corporation. It's episode 6 from Disney's Doug series in season 1. If you would like to go and find it on Disney Plus and watch it yourself. But I don't want to spoil anything, but basically Doug isn't making any money working at the Crafty Shoppy, so he suggests some improvements to the store, which starts out by selling a slime product called Scum. And was
this during the time of GAC?
Probably. But yeah, like I guess the comic book store is selling it.
Slime for my age kids.
But anyway, yeah, so I just thought it was just really interesting to see a craft store of, featured so much in it. And then later on in a different episode, Doug is walking down the street and there's another craft store, but this one's called the Knitting Needle. Needle is spelled with a K. And I thought, well, look at this. They've got a whole other, maybe Grandma Funny has competition here because this place is actually selling craft supplies. But, and if it's a yarn shop, they probably have a knit night as well. But anyway, yeah, so I was just like, this is kind of fun that right here in an episode of Doug, we've got crafts featured. You don't see that very often in shows, but
no.
Yeah, I thought that was
I mean, especially not cartoon shows.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So,
but
yeah. Apparently the folks who created Doug, they must have had someone in their life that had this, or maybe not enough though, because they did not know what it actually was. Yeah, it wasn't quite. But yeah, I will say, in the middle of Doug's efforts to try and fix the sales issue going on at the Crafty Shoppy, he thinks that maybe the solution is to change the name of the store. And maybe Crafty Shoppy is a little too cutesy, but I think going to the Scum Pit probably wasn't going to work for Grandma Funny's customers. So I'm going to end that there.
Wait, what?
He changes the name to the Scum Pit.
Oh, I mean, I think that maybe Grandma Funny needed to sell some craft supplies in her craft store. I think so. That maybe was what she was missing.
Yep. I mean, the slime might not have been a bad idea because, we know that you can go to Joann and get a slime making kit, and that makes sense. But I think that maybe some fabric, yarn, or even like paper and paint, things like that, some art supplies, that might have been helpful. Yeah. Now that we've analyzed what Grandma Funny was doing wrong with their business.
Right.
Yeah.
We've solved it. We have her all set. Yep. She's going to turn a
she
profit
can retire
next
now.
quarter. It's going to be great. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Oh.
So, since this is the first episode of season 3, do we want to just take a quick ride on the train of shame? Are you up for it?
I can hear that whistle in the distance. I think it's pulling into the station.
Yeah, I think we should hop on board and see what we need to air out the windows of the train of shame.
All right. So, the Professor Meow sweater that I've been talking about for, I don't know, a year?
Something like that.
It's still extremely not finished. And not only that, I'm not really sure where the project bag is right now. I mean, I definitely started it. And it's definitely that's good. Somewhere.
Huh.
I'm not really sure where, though.
I mean, there
aren't very many places to... Oh, maybe it's under the couch.
There you go.
That is actually a very fair point. Mr. Big Stuff might know.
He might. That's funny. I have lost projects that needed to be finished myself, so I really understand. Here's the thing. I thought, we had this little hiatus between seasons, and I figured that would be the perfect opportunity to finish a project that I was talking about towards the end of the last season. It's a shawl that I started on for my mom. I know that I've talked about it multiple times during last season. The shawl. I started it in the fall of 2018, and it has visited various places on my travels while I've worked on it. And I'm literally to the very end of it, and it's still not finished. I really did make a lot of progress. So there's that, but it is not done yet, and we've just launched another season. So basically, this shawl will have spanned 3 seasons of this podcast.
I mean, I don't remember if the first mention of Professor Meow was in the first season, but it's possible. So I might be right there with you.
Yeah. But, it's just kind of like, I guess that means that we are doing some of these, big, long projects along with our listeners, maybe. Right? Listeners, you have big, long projects that you're maybe even working on while you listen to this podcast. And you haven't finished them either.
We believe in you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to do it. This could be the year.
I mean, in fairness, we're writing books and designing patterns and making other things in the time that we might otherwise use to finish these projects. So
Yes, I know.
I'm going to cut us a little slack.
I know.
Just a little bit.
So close. Like, I mean, we're talking about rows. Just a few rows, I think.
Molly, go pick it up and finish it after lunch. It's close.
I think I have to go and pull out that giant project that's going to make clacky sounds that I can't do while recording.
Oh, well, fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Oh, well. But we should probably wrap this up.
Yep.
I think we've hit all the points.
So, we have hit all the points, and we've aired our dirty laundry out the windows of the train.
Exactly.
So I think that checks all the boxes.
I'm sure that the people who have seen that train of shame now have all the questions, but oh well. All that knitting laundry going out the window.
Let them have questions. Just let them. Okay. I don't know. I live in New York. Anything going on in the trains is just sort of meh. Whatever.
Okay. True.
Anyway, so on that note, thank you for listening to the Very Serious Crafts podcast. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Serious Crafts and on Facebook at Very Serious Crafts. You can also find show notes and all things Very Serious Crafts at veryseriouscrafts.com.
Yes.
If you're a fan of the Very Serious Crafts podcast, and why wouldn't you be? Please leave us a 5-star review on whichever platform you use to listen to podcasts. Good ratings help us show up in recommendations, which helps more people who love crafting and laughing find us.
Yes.
Yeah. And finally, if you would like to sponsor an episode of the Very Serious Crafts podcast, visit veryseriouscrafts.com and click sponsor, or support us at patreon.com/seriouscrafts.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening, friends. We're glad to be back.
Yes. Hooray! All right. Well, talk to you later, Molly.
Sounds good. Bye.
And talk to you later, crafters. Bye.